Mertis, let's fight! What's going on, boys and girls? It's your host, your boy, George Mackay, back again with another Rewind. And today I got a good one. I got a special guest joining me today. He is from one of my favorite podcasts, my hermano. He is from Circle of Debate. But please welcome the devious one, Ivan C. to MLW Rewind. How are you, bro?
Good, brother. How are you, man? Thank you very much for having me on. I'm excited. I want to go ahead and actually, Ben wanted to do a MLW Rewind, so let's get it going, brother.
Absolutely. So this week starts off with a vignette, a retelling of TJP and Buku Dao, the whole storyline leading up to the main event of this past week's Fusion. Now, I've stated on Wax a few times, I was not invested in this storyline at all. It got stretched out so far that it came to the point where it was like, I'm indifferent. How about you?
Let's say one more time, I had technical difficulties. My apologies.
No problem. So it started off with a vignette of TJP and Buku Dao, the whole storyline retelling leading up to the main event. Now, I was not invested in the storyline. It stretched out so long that I really stopped paying attention to it. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
But in seeing this retelling, what were your thoughts leading into this week's Fusion?
Honestly, with TJ, I want to digress on this. I cannot take TJP as a bully. I just can't. He's not a heel to me.
Right.
He's not an attraction to heel to me. I don't know. Like just the way how he was last week with Buku Dao, just the way he's been treating him as of late. He doesn't look for me like that type of heelish type of person to be like, okay, I'm the bully. You're my beat, you know? Like, no. It just like I can't take TJP serious at all, man. I was looking forward for this main event, to be honest, because I've seen from last week how he mistreated Buku Dao, and Buku Dao is not a sleeper, man. Buku Dao is very underrated, not very talked about, much, but this individual is very talented. So I was looking forward for this main event. I'll tell you that.
Well, you know what? And I will say this, as the main event progressed, and we'll obviously get into that later, I ate my own words on the whole situation. I'm just going to leave it at that. Spoiler, if you're not paying attention, spoiler there. So after we get that vignette kind of retelling everything, the announcers start off letting us know that Court Bauer is going to be in the building. He's going to let us know about another big announcement, because one big announcement came earlier in the week. They announced a TV deal with Vice TV. They're going to be on Vice TV starting in July or in May, and it's going to be insane. I cannot wait to see how things progress with that. Now the best kept secret in wrestling, in my opinion, is going to be available to the masses. So what's your thoughts on MLW landing that TV deal?
Actually, I'm very happy. You know what Court Bauer is doing? He's doing everything very, very well, honestly. I think he's playing it right. He's playing his card right. And then first announcing, the collaboration again with Pro Wrestling Noah, which I was really happy to hear about. That's one thing that I was, yes, finally. We haven't seen this in quite some time with MLW and Pro Wrestling Noah. That I know of, that with going to Vice, they're not playing obviously, like how you mentioned on the show, he mentioned that it will be a new season, but at least they're going to be showing at least, the old archives on Vice starting on May 1st. This is going to be all the archives going to be having. And then on how, like he said, in July, having a live crowd for the first time. So I'm excited for them. So, I mean, as much as Court Bauer sometimes gets on our necks, man, because there's times like, shit, what are you doing, bro? Like, bro, what are you doing sometimes? Like, why are you sleeping on this? But now he's playing his card right. So I got to give the man credit. He's doing it right.
Well, I call him the mad genius, because half the times I don't know what's inside his head, but then when it pops off, you're like, okay, I'm paying attention now. I'm keeping my eye on you. So we'll get into the announcement a little bit later on, but you did just mention it there, that in July, we're going to get crowds back at a very classic arena where a lot of great wrestling memories were held, for sure. We'll get into that. And Dynasty's also going to be in the building as well. The first match of the night, we get Gino Medina going at Rocky Romero. This is MLW New Japan. That working relationship has been there for a while. There's no forbidden door there. It's been opened all the time. Impact and AEW weren't the first ones to do cross promotions, just saying. This match starts off very old school for me, very technical. Both guys trying to figure each other out. A lot of holds, a lot of classic maneuvers, a little cocky by Medina after the shoulder tackle. Then we get a whole bunch of forearm exchanges, a fantastically beautiful 540 kick from Medina for a very quick two. I love Medina's kicks. His striking ability is very underrated for me. Then we get another forearm exchange, a lot of quick back and forth. Again, I got to state, I love the old school story that was told in this match. Not a lot of high flying, not a lot of over the top maneuvers. A very sexy baseball slide from Romero on the outside. Romero hanging on Medina on the ropes. I don't know what he was doing there. It was pretty freaking insane. The drop kick to Medina for the 2 count. Romero 3 clotheslines back to back. Then Medina kicks him in the back of the head for another 2. I thought it was out there, but somehow Romero kicked out. Then we get another clothesline by Medina. Romero misses with the enziguri. Then he does this weird thing where he misses with the enziguri and he somehow brings up his back leg to kick it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how he did that. The athleticism there it blew me away. And then Romero goes for the bulldog. Medina reversed it into a face drop. Then Romero comes back with the knee, a tornado DDT after that, into a suplex for the armbar, and Romero wins. That sequence was insane. And I'm sad that Medina has now lost twice in a row, so he's kind of got this steady streak of losing. He lost 2 weeks ago to Richard Holiday, and then this week to Romero. But this match was incredible, and I think it showcased Romero a little bit more. I don't know how to say it. A little bit more openly, if you will. It showcased the abilities that I don't really see too often in New Japan from him. And I've watched Romero in New Japan for a long time, but I really love this match. I love that old school story. I loved how they were working both on the arms and the backs, just breaking the opponent down. You don't see that much anymore. Usually you go for the quick 5 oh my God moments. And this one was very spaced out. And I really, really liked this match. Wasn't match of the night for me, but I really liked this match. What are your thoughts?
I mean, it was a great opening match. I'll tell you that. I like both of them. I mean, we all know Gino's credentials and, Rocky's credentials. It is unfortunate that Gino's been on a losing streak, as how you mentioned. It's, losing to Richard Holiday, his former, member of Dynasty, and then losing to Rocky Romero. I don't know what's next for Gino. Gino is another one that has been with MLW for quite some time. I'm just hoping that he just bounces back from this loss, and hopefully they do something with him, because this is something that I'm curious of what they're gonna do with him now that he is on his own, no longer with Dynasty. I'm just curious. But overall, this match, yes, I loved it. Rocky, you can't sleep on Rocky Romero, man. That's an individual that I could go way back for his credentials, but I'm not doing that. It's a list of his credentials, so I'm not gonna do the list. No, I'm not gonna do that shit. No, I'm not gonna do that. But that tornado DDT though, man. Oh my God. Yeah, you're right. We haven't seen this in quite some time, in the MLW. So I was really happy about that. And I mean, hopefully with this loss, Gino can bounce back once again and do something different. And I'm hoping that he could be talked about especially for the middleweight, or if not for the middleweight, well, at least for the world heavyweight. So I mean, we'll see. I'm looking for, I'm seeing what's next for Gino. That's what I'm actually keeping an eye on.
So. Right. And I like how they're kind of wrapping up storylines. So they're ending it with Gino on a losing streak. And who knows if we're going to see Gino over the next 2 weeks before this season ends. And we get that little break before the season starts up again in July. But I'm interested to see where it goes as well. And I've always appreciated Gino and his ability. And I still love the fact that he stands firm that he did not get fired. He left. Whereas Richard Holiday firmly says he was fired. So I don't think we'll ever get a clear answer on that. They both have their differing opinions. We'll just leave it at that. But speaking of Richard Holiday, Alicia and Richard Holiday, whenever these two cut promos, there is literally so much tension and they literally feed off each other so well. And even though Alicia tries to be nice, Holiday finds a way to bring that inner bitch out in her. And I don't really think it's always her fault. But it starts off with Holiday stating he's a babyface for all the Consumaneros. They're loving him and his merch is selling out like crazy. And then he shows Alicia a concept of a roller coaster called Muscle Mountain. Now, if you pause it at the right moment and you look at the center of the poster, it's a man like this with a roller coaster going into what Alicia has dubbed a hammer dick. Holiday ignored it completely, saying he's not familiar with that, and says Alicia is making fun of him and his sensitivity now, and he just ends the interview. Much like every other time they have spoken, he ends the interview. And he seems to get really offended. And it almost leads me back to a few months before when Hammerstone asked him, dude, do you have a crush? And he's like, no, I don't have a crush. He seems to get really over the top offended whenever Alicia doesn't support him the way he feels that she should. And I don't know what to say, but hammerdick. I think that's going to be the word of the day. That's a blatant hammerdick. And she even said as he walked away, maybe make that poster a first draft. Don't release it right away. Go back and maybe sleep on it. Take a look at it. But what are your thoughts on the hammerdick?
I mean, it's Richard Holiday. He's a marketable man, you know. That's what he's known for. He's a marketable man, but this shit just caught me off guard. Just for her just saying it, like, Richard, it's a hammer dick. Well, no, you know, like him just like, no, what are you talking about? No, it's not. No, you know what? This interview is over. I'm out. So, just oh my god. I mean, I love Richard Holiday. It's just his character, how he developed overall, and then these segments he's been having with Alicia. Shit, man, it looks like he does have a crush on Hammerstone. I'm like, okay, yeah, what's up with that? Okay, what's going on with that, bro? Why are you having a crush with Hammerstone? But yeah, I mean, Richard Holiday. I'm just curious what's going to happen with him too. That's another one that I'm curious about. But I'm loving these segments. Overall, I can't get enough of them. I actually love them. But this one caught me off guard though. Word of the day, ladies and gentlemen, is hammer dick.
That's right. So also after that, they announced again a Hammerstone press conference is still to come later on in the show. And then we get a Los Parks promo. And this is a promo, like I really struggle with these guys when they do their promos, because a lot of time I don't feel the passion. I feel like they're just literally reiterating what they've been told to reiterate. I don't feel the realism. But this one, it impressed me. It actually gave me that sense of realism. They're saying they don't agree with Salina going against El Jefe, saying that Los Parks specifically say he took her along for the victories, even when she didn't believe that they would win. She has profited off his family's success, but her bad decisions are carving up her for a very bad thing. From when Hammerstone hit him, she was calling him a dumbass. And thanks to Los Parks, she's known in the US and Mexico. Los Parks' son then steps in, saying that El Jefe is constructing a new temple and will be happy with all the violence to come. They will all be stronger and prepare for the consequences. And if Salina fails again, she will regret it completely. What were your thoughts very quickly on this promo before we get into the rest of the episode? But this was probably, in my opinion, before I pass it over to you, this was the best promo I've seen from Los Parks since they started cutting promos in MLW. And I'll put that on wax right now.
Reason why? Because they've been having short promos. They never had this long of a promo. And then that's what, if you notice that from Los Parks, they don't give that much time doing a promo like that. And obviously we do have that translating. So of course, yo entiendo porque también hablo español. Okay, so I understand. But this segment, I love it. You know, I don't know what's going on with Salina, because it got me kind of like, okay, you walked out on Mil Muertos last week, you know, while he was during the match against Hammerstone. Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously El Jefe did not like that. So this is an opportunity for her to redeem herself. And I'm hoping she does, because I like her in, you know, I think Underground. I like her being that faction. I like her being there with those Parks and with Mil Muertos. I would not like to see her separating from that. So I'm hoping that this, you know, with this and Jefe's whatever new strategies gonna take it out, I'm hoping that she redeem themselves and get back on track, you know, with those Parks and Mil Muertos.
Absolutely. And we also find out that King Mo is going to be in action later on the show. And then we get a recap of Myron Reed. After everything that was done with Contra, that's all in the past. He called out Lio Rush last week. He asked specifically for his rematch clause to be instated. He wants to get his title back. We all want Reed versus Rush too. Now we get Alicia with Leo backstage, and he's going to answer Myron's challenge. He really doesn't answer the challenge. He just says it's never going to happen. Reed's never going to get his title back. But we'll find out later on the show that that is not the case. Leo says Myron got embarrassed, and he would want redemption, but says just flat out it's not going to happen. And then he asks Alicia what time it is. She states the actual time by saying it's 6 o'clock, but he's telling her it's rush hour. And the title's going to stay where it is. Lio Rush usually has great promos. I found this one to be a little bit flawed. I don't know if they're building up the flawed promos for it to be that showing a little crack in the armor. The Lio Rush may be a little nervous about getting Myron Reed for the second go around, but it definitely wasn't Leo's best promo. And for the 25K piece of gold, he really didn't show me much in that promo. Kind of the same things he's been reiterating the last couple of weeks. So I'm a big Lio Rush guy. I'm all about Lio Rush, but I got to say, in terms of this storyline building to the second match, Myron Reed has won the promo contest hands down, in my opinion. But what are your thoughts on the Lio Rush promo?
I mean, I'm with you 100% on that. Myron Reed has obviously the best promo compared to Lio Rush, and no disrespect to Lio Rush. I mean, I love Lio Rush, but his promos as of late that he's been doing has not won me over. It hasn't been like, all you're saying is, what time is it? You know what time it is? It's rush hour. That's it. You only have 3 fucking words for me, and that's all you're gonna have, take out on a fucking promo. I'm sorry. I mean, shit. I mean, you're not winning me over. My heart is open, but now it's kind of like, yeah, I don't know, man. You need to step up with the promos, man. Loved you, in other, other promotions, but here, I don't know what he's doing on this promo. I don't know. I wasn't really intrigued, to be honest with you, on this promo.
Yeah, he's not selling you for the build for the match that we want to see part 2, and we know the match is going to be stellar. Myron's doing his job of selling, getting everyone hyped and ready for this. Yeah. Leo, I don't think is, and I think that's a reflection of sometimes that bad attitude that trickles through. He's never been showcased as having a bad attitude. Leo's always been a respectful worker. He'll come in, he'll do his job. But I feel like here he's just doing the 9 to 5. Leo, cut a promo. Okay, it's rush hour. That's wow. Thank you for that, bro. Thank you. So I didn't know it was rush hour. I thought it was the midday morning rush, but thank God you clarified it's rush hour. Okay. All right. And now we get King Mo in action, and he's going up against Robert Martyr. How convenient that the guy's last name is Martyr. Because what are most martyrs? They're sacrificial lambs. They're there to prove something. And King Mo wins via tap out. This match went about 1 minute and 17 seconds. I rounded up to 120, but it went a minute longer than it really needed to. I really thought Robert Martyr was going to break the record and become the 7-second man, because Bud Heavy was the 8-second man. And when this match went past 7 seconds, I was like, really? Robert Martyr, whatever. The guy's character name was Robert Martyr. Again, martyrs are sacrificial lambs. This guy was only out there to show that King Mo is in contention for one of the straps in MLW. Again, like I said, this match went 1 minute longer than it needed to be. This was hands down the worst match on the card, probably because it was supposed to be. But before we get into the Salino promo with my amazing, the unsung heroes of MLW, the cameramen, because I love these guys and what they do. What are your thoughts on this King Mo match with Robert Martyr? I mean, wow.
Well, first of all, I was actually happy that he lasted this long.
Okay.
That's one thing I had to give him. At least, Robert Martyr at least lasted for this couple of time. At least it wasn't a very quick squash match. And plus, we haven't even seen King Mo in quite some time in MLW. So, I mean.
Since Filthy Island, that's right.
Yeah, that was the last time we saw him. And prior to that, you forgot to mention also the top 10 rankings that PWI did, for MLW. Mm-hmm. And I obviously King Mo's not happy that he's not part of the rankings. So that's why he kind of let his frustrations out. And what really caught me off guard, though, on this one, him calling out low key. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. All right. Low key King Mo. Okay. We could maybe see that down in the future.
Again? But again?
Yeah, I know it's again. But I mean, you got to have King Mo do something at least. I mean, not why not low key? Why not? Again, I know it's a redundant storyline, but why not to have it one last time? But overall, King Mo, he should be part of the rankings. To be honest with you, he should be part of the.
I never mentioned the top 10 power rankings though, because very rarely do they change. Hammerstone's always number 1, and it's usually 2 through 8 that fluctuate, but usually 9, 10, and 1 are always the same. So what's the point?
Yeah, I know. I understand that, but I mean, we know why though. I guarantee we could debate this. We could go debating this whole I don't know how long we can get debated, but we know why the number 1, which you'll get to at the end. But they need to change. But I'm with you that. That's why I feel like King Mo should be part of that rankings at least, and then we'll see.
I agree with you. You know what? I agree with you. Get some fresh blood in there. Get some new rankings, and I think the ranking should be based not solely on what's done in the ring, but should be based on in-ring work, charisma, and promo skills.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why King Mo's not in it. But what I found funny about this was that the announcers were saying, you know, King Mo wants to prove the bookers wrong. What are we talking about? He has one match every 6 weeks. How can you book a guy for a title fight if he fights every 6 weeks? We haven't seen him since mid-February, and now it's the end of April. We're actually talking closer to 10 weeks if you really think about it, because March and April, like almost 9-10 weeks since we've seen King Mo last. And even before then, it was a very long stretch again as well. So I don't know, the jury's still out for me on King Mo. But then we get my favorite moments of MLW. The cameramen. I've mentioned it a few times. The cameramen are the unsung heroes of MLW for all the shit that they put up with, from getting pushed to getting suckered into backlay brawls and having to say, oh shit, we got to get the fuck out of here, to getting paid $20 by Leo Rush to carry in his bag, which that cameraman, he made $20. So I'll give that dude credit. He took it. But so Salina's outside, dressed all in black, very Jennifer Lopez looking, very thick Latina lips, the long hair. That's fine. I don't know what that particular style was she was going for that day, but Salina always looks good no matter what, in my opinion. The cameraman asking Salina, what's up with her and El Jefe? She's literally trying to cut a promo on the cameraman. Why are you asking? Why are you asking? Then the phone rings and it's a call. We can only assume the call's from El Jefe, basically stating to her that there's an opportunity. She agrees that she will be there next time. And then she will literally live up to the opportunity. I don't know if it's going to happen next week or the week after, but there will be a time where she's requested. She will be there. She's agreed to it on the phone. And as she hangs up the phone, she mouths the word fuck. And then El Jefe's muscle, again, grabs the camera, pushes it all the way down to the ground. And the poor cameraman now is on the ground, which was obviously, you could state by the weather outside, it looked like it just rained. The poor bastard now was laying in wet grass. That's uncomfortable. He doesn't want to do that, and he didn't deserve that. I don't believe El Jefe's muscle had to do that at all. But again, these are just the cameramen and the unsung heroes. We're finally, I think, before this season ends, we're going to get to see who El Jefe is. I've stated on Wax, I believe it's Vampiro, just based on Azteca Underground, Lucha Underground. The logos look very similar. I think it is Vampiro. I could be dead wrong, and if I am, well, it is what it is. But what are your thoughts on the Salina semi-lifeless promo, because she really didn't have much to do other than take the phone call?
Yeah, like I'm with you on that. I think we're gonna see the revelation of the reveal of El Jefe. And I don't know. This one is a tough one, man. I'm hoping to say who it is it's a tough call. But I'm with you. I'm going with you that it's Vampiro. I can't see Conan. That's a fact. I can't see that. But I can see Vampiro most definitely, because how you mentioned, being involved with Lucha Underground and, working with that promotion. I don't know who else could we see as a Jefe. I mean, I don't know. I cannot see who could it be. But at this moment, I can see that we're hoping in the season finale we're going to see Vampiro being that one. So I'm just crossing my fingers. I'll be in shock, bro, if it's not him and it's someone unexpected, man. I'm like, what? I didn't expect this guy. Like that's like my reaction if it's not Vampiro. So,
oh my God, it's Chavo Guerrero. No,
oh hell no! Oh no! Sorry, Chavo. Right. I love you, Chavo, but no.
I love you, Chavo, but not for this. Not for this.
Not for this. Not for this one.
Not for you. So, we get a recap again of the Von Erichs and Team Filthy, all the stuff that's been going back and forth, and then Tom Lawler cuts what I believe to be promo of the night. Says the Von Erichs can't keep their mouth shut. When it comes to with the Filthy Tom, he's been called a liar. He's been called jealous. He's been called a coward. Nothing is true, Ivan. Nothing is true, except calling the Von Erichs good guys. He brought them to MLW. He knows the truth. He issues a challenge to Marshall, not Ross, Marshall, the one with the bum knee. And that's Tom Lawler's edge. I love him for that. Yes. Saying he asked whoever left in your family, ask anybody, ask your brother, ask your father, who's ever left in your family, which I thought was a little bit of a low blow. If you have the guts to face me one-on-one, or will Marshall hide behind his bum knee, fake an injury to escape a fight, which is exactly what Tom Lawler did a few weeks ago in that chain ropes match. Yeah. And if they go out at each other, he will expose Marshall as just a boy, not a man, just a boy. So, promo of the night, we get Marshall's response a little bit later in the day, but right before Court Bauer makes his announcement, which we already talked about earlier. Again, Tom Lawler, like I said, the guy can breathe fire through a microphone. I think I'm hoping one day that we get him and Leo Rush, because I think that promo battle will bring out the best in both individuals and build up one hell of a story if we can get there. But your thoughts on the Tom Lawler promo and calling out Marshall Von Erich?
I love it. I'm Team Filthy all the way, man. I am. Not besides, MLW, but other promotions as well. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about MLW. But yes, I'm Team Filthy all the way. I love them upon Eric's, but I'm just a big fan of Tom Filthy, Tom Lawler. I'm a big fan of him. So I cannot wait. What's in store of this storyline, and how further they're gonna go with it, especially with this feud between Lawler and Devon Eric's. So I'm looking forward to it. So
Absolutely. Let's see where it goes. And we're going to get the response a little bit later. But now we get the big kind of meeting of the night. This is the one everyone's been waiting for. Court Bauer's in the house with Alicia talking, I guess, I would assume over via Zoom. Look like Zoom could be StreamYard. I don't know. It's one of these platforms where we can visually talk to one another from New York. It's weird when they say he's going to be in the building, but then he's via New York. So maybe you should just say Court Bauer will join Alicia tonight on MLW. Don't say he's in the building, because he's clearly not. He's not in Orlando. He's in New York. So next time, I mean, everyone just get your ducks in a row, because that was like confusing. When I hear Court Bauer's going to be there, I expect him to physically be in the ring with Alicia cutting a promo, not over Zoom. But he announces that fans will be returning in July, and they'll be having their first show at the ECW 2300 Arena, literally the mecca of old school wrestling, attitude era venue of the gods, if you will. This is Mount Olympus when it comes to that gritty indie type of feel that MLW has and that they're going for. And it's great to see them back. And right in the midst of that, though, Joseph Samael, Mr. Head of Contra, cuts an interview and kills it. This actually, I retract my statement about Tom Lawler. Tom Lawler was number one, but then we got this. And Joseph Samael, when he cuts a promo, he cuts it and lets everybody know exactly what they need to do. Shut up and pay attention. Watch me speak. And that's what he does. He is literally, in my opinion, he's the American Jeremy Prophet. Shout out to Joe in the ring and Jeremy Prophet and all the fire that gets spit over there every week. But he basically says Court is full of hope and delusion. It's been a year since Court begged in that office in front of Joseph. Says he can walk back through the door anytime. He wishes the league could be his, and with a snap of his fingers, chaos is a ladder, and that Court is losing grip. And just like the mighty Hammerstone, once the dominant force of MLW, is now crippled by terror. He knows what awaits him in the shadows, while Jacob Fatu sits atop his throne. For 2 years, a god of war no man can defeat. Go ahead and celebrate your new deals, because he has millions of souls nationwide will bear witness. On Saturday, July 10th, fill up the arena with fans so they can personally witness the massacre that awaits, while Contra raises the black flag over Philadelphia. After this promo, I had to pause. I had to go outside, have a cigarette, and just soak it all in, because Joseph Samael can do no wrong when it comes to cutting a promo. And I can't wait to see Joseph Samael make an actual appearance. We haven't seen him in MLW since this whole COVID thing started. So I'm hoping and praying that on July 10th, we may actually see all of Contra get that band back together. And because anytime you have Joseph Samael, Jacob Fatu in the same building together, that just makes for an extra special MLW. But what are your thoughts on this promo?
Hail Contra. That's all I can say about that. You got to hail Contra, bro. I mean, you got to hail him. Jesus, this promo, yeah, it got to me. I'm with you. I'm like, okay, yeah, I need to go have a cigarette. That's how I was too, bro. Whoa, it just gave me the chills, just that promo, man. And I can't wait to see Contra back together as well. Yeah, look, I'm not gonna lie. I'll digress a little bit about it. Before this whole pandemic, yes, I was kind of annoyed of Contra. It was every week by week by week. I was annoyed by it. I was like, you know what? I'm losing hopes for for this faction, because it was just annoying. Like, and I know I'm probably gonna get heat for this, but it kind of reminded me a little, way back like that NWO era. That's what it kind of reminded me a little bit. I was hoping they didn't go to that route. But, when this whole pandemic, obviously not everyone can be together. So I can actually say that I miss you guys. I do miss Contra now. So now I miss you guys. So I hail you, for sure.
Now we get the Marshall Van Erich promo. Long story short, he's accepting Tom's challenge. He doesn't need 2 good knees to beat him up. And when he's done, he's going to eventually be the silver bullet that will take out the Samoan werewolf. I actually did like that line. I dug that line a lot. He says he's just got to, that Lawler's a coward and he doesn't need anything just to smash his face in because he's got heart, he's got Texas, and he's got a YE behind him. So he's going to stick the big claw over Tom Lawler's fat head and squeeze until Tom pees his pants, blacks out, and craps his pants. That was a little bit, good thing I didn't eat when I was watching because I didn't want to pitch any of that. But he accepts the challenge, and he's going to see Tom Lawler next week. So that's one of the matches we know is going to happen next week. It's going to be Filthy Tom, Marshall Von Erich, one good leg or two good legs, and he is going to, and we're going to see this storyline wrap up because this has really been building since November. So we have to get this storyline finished. We have to wrap it up in the season. And I kind of like how everything's kind of steamrolling. This has been, since Never Say Never, this has been a couple really solid weeks of really good MLW TV. And it just means that the next 2 weeks are just going to be amazing. And it's going to cap off everything. Oh, and also I forgot to mention in that Court Bauer interview that he made it official that Reed versus Rush 2 will happen on the season finale, May 5th. So that will happen. So even though Leo said it's not going to happen, Court Bauer finally stepped in and said, fuck you, it is going to happen. Yes. And it's going to happen on May 5th. So we can't wait for Reed versus Rush 2 because we know it's going to be fire.
We all know for a fact that part 1 was really, really great.
One of my favorite matches of this year.
Yes.
Match of the year candidate for sure.
Yes, absolutely. That could be the match of the year, and I'm hoping they kind of at least be talked about in the match of the year. Hopefully, it's being recognized, even though we know that MLW is best kept secret. But this match overall, especially with Reed, stole the show. I mean, shit. I'm hoping part 2 does the same. I think they're gonna go way up to par more than what they have done in part 1. I'm excited.
Mm-hmm. And what are your thoughts on the Marshall Von Erich promo?
On the Marshall. I love you guys, Von Erichs. Just your promos are not really winning me over as well. I'm sorry. I can't. I mean, good thing I wasn't eating either. So I'm glad I wasn't eating. I'm just like looking at the missus. Did you just hear what he said? Like, yeah, I heard what he said. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna go eat. Like, what? You're gonna go eat? All right. Oh Jesus! I will not go eat because of that promo. No. Yeah. I wasn't really. I'm with you on that. With this feud to end, but something tells me that it's not. For some odd reason, even though we're coming towards an ending season, but something tell me starting the new season, I think that's where they're gonna end it. I think finally, probably like the first 2 weeks, maybe so. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know where they're going with this, but something tells me that they're not gonna end this feud anytime soon.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe you're right. I see this feud ending with a 6-man tag. And the only way it can end with a 6-man tag is if we get Ross and Marshall and their dad, Kevin Von Erich, we get them in a ring versus all 3 members of Team Filthy. And I think that's when it'll end. And I think they'll give Kevin a little bit of sexy spotlight. And he will be able to lay out Tom Lawler in the center of the ring while his 2 sons lay out Our Friends Violence is forever. So it'll be interesting. And now we get a Reed promo. And like I said, his promos have been just steadily rising. And Reed's starting to find himself now. And this is a dangerous situation for any up-and-comers. He literally is the young GOAT for a reason because his in-ring ability has not been touchable. I have stated that on wax. He's always had it, but his promo skills were always kind of 50-50. But now I feel like he's finding the whole package. So right off the bat in this promo, he gets a shout out to Calvin Tankman for inviting in Indianapolis to get trained in his gym. He's going to make all the doubters believers. Rush is on the internet talking, running his mouth. Yes, you got the win the first time, but now I know what it takes to beat you. And this time around, I'm in the gym every morning at 5 a.m. I'm working hard. And what's Rush doing? He's on the internet, just keeps running his mouth. It's cool. In 2 weeks from now, when I step in the ring with you for the second time, it's going to shut you up, them up, the whole world, because he's going to become the middleweight champion again. And now that he said it, he's manifesting it. And I loved it. This was the most intense I've seen. Our good friend Myron Reed, shout out to the young GOAT. He's been on the show, and he's also been on 5 Questions with My Daughter that dropped a couple weeks ago. So check that out. It was a really fun interview. And Myron Reed is one of the classiest dudes ever. He's humble. He knows his flaws, but he works on them every day. And when his contract is up with MLW, It's going to be interesting to see if he resigns because he does have major TV time and spotlight there now, or if he tries to play the field and explore his options. The mini host asked him, and he didn't confirm or deny what his plans were. So it's going to be interesting. But what are your thoughts on this Myron Reed promo before we get to the main event that made your boy eat his words?
Okay. Yeah, that's true. Reed has been winning me over. He's been developing with his promos, and I'm loving it. And I love the fact that they give the talent the ball. Here, go with it. Do as you please. Make something out of yourself with your own promos. Create something. And this is what Reed has been doing as of late. He's been doing on his own, and he's been, exceeding, little by little, and he's winning the crowd over. He's winning me over. Besides his, besides his in-ring skills ability, but his promos are also another key thing to win an audience over. So that's what he's kind of doing right now as well, and I'm loving it. And in regards for his contract expiring, we could see him possibly testing the market. But at this moment, do you really want to? And if I were you, Court Bauer, I would not sleep on it. You better resign him. Give him a blank check here. What you want? Because you do not want to lose this guy. If you do lose him, don't get me wrong. You have great talent in the roster, but this is a guy, especially for that middleweight division, that you want to keep around. You want him to be the face of that middleweight division for sure. So freelancing, I can see him, but where are you going to go? Think about it. Where is it that you fit well? We can mention the territories. We can mention the major promotions, even, but does it fit him? Honest, and not disrespecting Reed at all. I'm feared that they're not gonna use him properly. They don't know what to do with him. That's my fear what I have for him. Because what he's doing in MLW is phenomenal. I love it. I'm loving it right now. I don't think he should leave. I think he should stay, and build his name up more in MLW. Maybe down the line, maybe hopefully, then you can freelance and go or sign to any major promotion that he would like to go to. But I would not take this risk of Corbara. You better not take this risk of not re-sign this individual, bro. You need to re-sign him, because if you lose him, I don't know what to tell you. I'll be highly disappointed, because I feel like the other major promotions will not know what to do with him, because there's so much, like I can mention AEW, I can mention NXT, I can mention even NWA, Ring of Honor, New Japan Strong Style, so many. But the question is, what would he do with him? That's the biggest cue. What would they use him for?
Right.
I hope he stays. So
he will. His contract still got a year and a bit left to go on it. So he's not going anywhere, at least until 2022, 2023. So he'll be at MLW for that time. But as we know, a year can go by very quickly. We're a year plus into this pandemic. So time can fly, especially when the world kind of comes to a standstill. Now, obviously, you in the States are doing way better than we are over here. You're bad when Canada is the top news story in the US. That's all I'm saying. Usually it's the opposite way around, but we're all you guys seem to be talking about lately. And that's fine. We appreciate it. We know where we stand. We're the North. We're above you. We keep it there.
All right. You know what? I'm gonna let you have that one. I'll let you have that one. Yeah.
And now for the main event of the evening, TJP versus Boku Dao. Like I said, this one made me eat my words. The old school style. Again, this was a lot of old school feel to these matches today, except for the King Mo match, which was blatantly a martyr squash match. But it starts with a headlock by Dao. He's not really letting up. He's doing very well wrestling TJ to the mat, because as we know, TJ has the height advantage and the reach advantage and the skill advantage, and a lot of the advantages on Buku Dao. I'll be honest with you. I believe TJ to be the all-around better performer in the ring, but Dao made me a believer this time around. And again, I'm going to state that, but a nice head scissors lock with TJ. Like, TJ stands up, full out headstand, and finds a way to get around and brings Dao into the surfboard. And I loved that they were working on the mat, because that was the best way to make this match even, was to stay on the ground. And then we kind of get that back and forth. TJ dives to the outside, or Dao dives to the outside on TJ on the ring apron, and then he pushes Dao into the ring apron. So now TJ's back in control. There was never really a point where one had the upper hand. They just kind of took turns going into it. And then a sweet power bomb by TJ. I thought that was going to be it. I figured we're 5 minutes in. It's got to be it. But no, it wasn't. Dao gets up and another clothesline by TJ, and he's back in control. He's dishing out all kinds of really cool holds. TJ was very creative in this match, and it's probably because of who he was with in the ring. Basically, Dao saying, listen, let's do something that people haven't seen in a while. A lot of these holds you really couldn't even, they were anchor holds, but they were different types of anchor holds. They were stretching different muscles in the body, which I appreciated. I always loved that old school feel. This reminded me of a high school gym match, an NCAA gym match, because they were so on the ground with the holds and technical, and it wasn't really the high flying stuff that we're used to seeing for both parties, especially TJP. We know if he can get to the top rope, he's going to fly. Dao does the beautiful springboard. He covers TJ for a quick 2. TJP again, another power bomb. And at this point, it looked like he was just beating down a child. Dao had that "you stole my milk and cookies" face going on. And that's when I kind of was like, but now we're about 9 minutes in, way past where I thought this match was going to go. We get another surfboard on Dao, and Dao's selling it so well, screaming in pain in the center of the ring with nowhere to go. But he finds a way to literally crawl himself on his knees to the rope to break that hold. TJ, like I said, is just dishing out all kinds of punishment, really just bullying Dao. And you say you didn't really see TJ as a bully. Maybe not with the promos and all that stuff, but in the in-ring work with no words being said, TJ was the heel, and he was doing a very good job of making you feel sorry for Dao. And like I said, this match really surprised me. I went into it with very low expectations, but they both really won me over. And despite the build to the feud that I really didn't care about, they really did win me over. And it was a nice kick by Dao. TJ rolls to the outside, suicide dive on Dao onto those wooden steps, which we know are painful. We've talked about those in depth. They're really, really painful. Oh, yeah. Then we get a flying shoulder tackle by Dao. TJ goes for a clothesline and into a face down bulldog by fucking Dao. I was like, holy shit. He's punching TJ in the middle of the ring. Then we get a bunch of corner Irish rips. Then TJ up on the top rope, standing drop kick, face down again. That was crazy. When Dao went flying off the top rope and TJ caught him with a standing drop kick. The agility you have to get up with not a running start on a drop kick is impressive as hell. Where are we now? TJ goes up for the fireman's carry. He knocks the ref down. Now the ref is out. And Dao gets the roll up for almost a 4 to 5 count. Dao won this match. There was a 4 to 5 count that Dao won it. And then Dao goes to wake up the ref. TJ pushes him down to the bottom turnbuckle. Dao's kind of seeing stars. Then we get top rope again. Is wrapped up now, going for another superplex. Dao knocks down TJ, and this time I didn't know that this could happen, but some kind of a brain buster, which was very impressive. And for the match, Dao wins the match. 14 minutes. I may have screwed up a couple points here and there, but 14 minutes long, and these two kept me entertained. And like I said, I eat my words. I apologize to Buku Dao. I apologize to TJP, because even though the build for the storyline I wasn't invested in and I could care less, they made me eat my words. And this was one of my favorite matches in the last couple of weeks that I've seen. The main events on every Fusion after Never Say Never have been fantastic. And this was just really, really impressive. And this left us with only 2 minutes for the Hammerstone press conference, which I'm sure was going to be longer. But because this match was so fucking good, they ran story on the Hammerstone press conference, which we'll get to right after because it's very quick. It's literally 1 minute long and then it's over. But what are your thoughts on this match? Like I said, both these guys made me eat my words, and Buku Dao really impressed the hell out of me in this one. This was the best I've seen him wrestle so far in his time in MLW that I've watched.
No, I'm with you in that, but that's why I said, Buku Dao's not a sleeper. Very upcoming rising star, very talented. TJP, I'm with you on that, because the thing is that, especially with this storyline and the way how it's developed, of course, it's not intriguing because it's okay. You do you're busting a student versus master type of shit. Okay, yeah, get out of my dojo. You're worthless. You're useless. And you're on the street trying to build up. You're mad at your teacher. You're mad at your mentor. Okay, and to beat him, I need to tell him that no, I am the master now. So this was kind of like that type of match. Okay, teacher versus student. The student wins. Now I'm the master. Now I'm the best. And of course, we know that TJP can sell in the ring, and he is very technical. If you go back to his New Japan days as well, he is highly technician, before developing his high flying skills that everybody's a lot more familiar with. But if you go back to his history, he's more of a technical guy in the ring, especially in shoot wrestling.
Mhm.
And Buku Dao is another one as well that he is underrated, and I'm looking forward to see what's next for him. And I'm hoping this storyline ends. That I hope it ended with this. I hope it don't go more further. Don't do a trilogy. No, please don't bust no other shit that the other promotions do. Do not do that. Just fucking end this shit with this. That's it. All right, I'm the master now. So back of the line. Let me just move forward and have TJP go to do something else. But this match overall was incredible. I loved it. Oh man, just that face plant that Buku Dao has. Like, woo, that's a badass finisher. I never thought of seeing a finisher like that, jumping from the second top, grabbing his spinning around and face plant. Like, oh shit. Oh, ooh, I like this. I like this finishing maneuver. So I'm hoping he keeps it and hopefully, like I said, I mean, Buku Dao is not a sleeper, man. We gotta keep an eye on that cat for sure, most definitely.
Absolutely. Like I said, they made me eat my words, and I think you're right. You have to go out on a high note with the storyline. Dao won. He got his redemption. He got his vengeance. It's time to move on. And now to the final point of the evening, which, like I said, it's going to be a quick 30 seconds. Hammerstone press conference. He's tired of there being two heavyweight champions in MLW, and the ball is now in Fatu's court. The challenge is out there. Do you accept? And then he just walks away, and MLW goes off the air. So again, another blatant head scratcher from the Mad Genius Court Bauer. I don't know where this is going, but I'm so over the fact that this is not the first time Hammerstone has issued out a challenge. We have not seen Fatu accept. I will state it again. I believe the open weight title should be a number one contender's title, which it is, but it should be like a Money in the Bank championship. If Fatu's in the building and I want a challenge, I'll go out. I hand my belt to the ref. Now the open weight title is vacant, and I could challenge for that title. And that's the way it should be. And it hasn't been like that. I don't know what Court Bauer is exactly doing with this storyline, but it's been 2 years. And every time I think we're getting an inch closer to where we need it to be, slows it down. There's a better chance of us seeing Hammerstone and Fatu go at each other in GSW than there is of them going at each other in MLW. And that says something. And we're all fans of GSW. We all love what Brandon Ascari and team is doing over there. The GSW pay-per-view is coming up in May. You know I'm going to be getting that. Can't wait for that. Definitely going to be doing a prediction show. Probably solo by myself because the mini host doesn't watch GSW. She's grounded. She's grounded for life. No, I'm joking. But yeah, we have a better chance of seeing it there than we do in MLW. So your thoughts on this promo before I get you to shout out your socials and we say goodbye for this week. What are your thoughts on Hammerstone, and are we going to see Fatu contra Joseph Samael accept finally?
It's not even about the fact that them accepting. I'm pretty sure they will, but it's like how you mentioned. It's just Court Bauer. Like, we've been waiting. We've been patiently waiting for quite some time already for this to start already. We need a new open weight champion. We do need to develop this storyline and move forward with it already. I don't know. Maybe he's waiting for the season premiere. Once they jump on Vice once, on July. Maybe that could be it. I'm hoping that'll be it, just to stop keeping us waiting, like cringing. Like, come on, let me have this match. I want this match. But look, Hammerstone is very talented. I'm a big fan of Alex Hammerstone. I've followed his career, and yes, I think it's about that damn time that he needs to win. And I love Jacob Fatu too. Don't get me wrong. He's been champion, 2 years already now in MLW. Mm-hmm. Nobody's ever has gone through, trying to dethrone him. But I feel this is a guy who needs to now dethrone him and be the top guy. I just hope that Court makes it official that July with the live crowd. I'm hoping so. And so we can end this, because if he extends it longer, you're going to lose me little by little with this. Okay, I'm calling him out. I'm calling Jacob Fatu out, and nothing's happening. I mean, this is not towards Alex. It's just more just towards like Bauer. Like, dude, make it official. Just say on July 10th, live crowd, we're going to have Alex Hammerstone challenging Jacob Fatu for the MLW World Heavyweight Champion. Can we just have that announcement already? Like, shit, you don't have us waiting for this, because the longer you have us waiting, the longer us as fans are not going to be like, he keeps saying that every week. Oh, now it's official. I don't even want to see it. I want to see it at GSW. You see? Oh, you see? Exactly, right? I mean, so I'm hoping he does. And because, it's a live crowd, I'm putting my chips all in. I feel like he is going to announce that match with the live crowd. I feel like he's going to do it. I have a feeling something tells me he's gonna end up doing it. He's gonna have a major card, especially for that July 10th event.
Oh hell yeah! Oh hell yeah! And I hope and pray that if he does announce it, it's on the final episode of this season on May 5th, and he actually is in the ring, not via Zoom, not via satellite. Be in the ring. Drive to Orlando, fly to Orlando, whatever it is. We know that vaccines are available. I believe you guys have already pretty much vaccinated almost every state or close to it at this point, where we here are still struggling to get vaccines, but we'll get them shortly. And hopefully the world can go back to some sense of normal. The vaccine doesn't stop COVID. It just makes the symptoms more cold and flu-like.
Yes.
So let's just try to get these things going so that we can see it. But yeah, Court Bauer, much like the vaccines, roll the shit out, make the fucking announcement. Let's get shit going because I'm tired. I'm exhausted. Yes. I've only really been invested in MLW wholeheartedly. I've been watching it for a long time, but I've only been invested really since we started the show, me and my former co-host. But hey, this has been a great rewind. This is another one in the can. We've only got 2 more left of this season before we take a nice break and we revamp, redesign, and rewind again come July. Ivan, shout out your socials, shout out your amazing podcast. Let the people know where they can find you, follow you, and keep up with you and everything you guys are doing over there at Circle Debate. And shout out all your other fabulous co-hosts, but shout out Chris last.
Chris, if you're watching this, bro, sorry. Yeah, you're the most beloved guy in the podcast, bro. So yeah, definitely Chris. But yes, check us out at Circle Debate on our YouTube channel, and also you can follow us on our social media platforms. You can follow us at Twitter and Instagram at Circle Debate, Facebook Circle Debate group page. We do have our weekly episodes every Fridays, and our top 5s every Sunday, like afternoon, evenings, but our time, Pacific Standard Time. So it'll be a little bit later for you, for the Eastern Time, a little bit 3 hours ahead of. So that's what we usually do every Fridays, every Mondays. And we usually do also as well MMA episodes, which, stay tuned for that as well. So follow us. And what else can I say? Oh, Chris, yeah. Hi, buddy. That's like, hi, Chris. Yeah.
All right, well, Ivan, thank you for being my special guest host this week. I appreciate you, man. You came to the call when I wasn't sure where Rewind was going to go.
All I can say is yes, I am with you. Do not want to die out. If anything, I will do whatever I can to be part of the MLW Rewind permanently to make this, because I love it. And plus, like I said, it makes my job more easier because I'm able to talk now. Mm-hmm. You get me? Mm-hmm. I'm able to talk now. So you're at Jefe on this one. I'm just, all right, you're asking me. Oh my God, I'm being asked the questions now.
And it was fun. You gave great insights, great perspectives. As always, get those fresh insights and perspectives. And that's it for this Rewind. I'm your host, your boy, George Mackay. Thank you so much for listening, watching, subscribe, like. I'm 11 away from 300. I would love to hit that before I hit my 200 episode. So, anybody that hasn't subscribed, give us a shot. There's great content all the time. And peace, love, and wrestling. And from my hermano, Ivan the Devious One, and myself, we'll see you guys soon. Peace.